today I am going to do a little grocery haul with my daughter Sarah.
Hi.
She hates being on camera, but she's being a good sport today. Before we go, we're gonna get a little treat at Starbucks, and of course I'm gonna get double chocolate frappuccino, right? Nah, we'll switch. I always get the same thing, keto or not. I get a venti green unsweet iced tea. It's my favorite. 99.9% of the time, that's what I always get. I don't drink coffee. Tea is my jam. So we're actually going to go to 3 stores today. First one's going to be Trader Joe's. It's a little bit far away from our house. It's like 30 minutes, so I don't go there that often. But they have some unique items, and it's, you know, a really cool store, and I like it. And then we're going to go to Whole Foods, which also is not super close, but better now when they open a second store in our area. And there's another couple of things there that I would like to get. We're not really getting a lot of things today because I have most of my keto basics always at home. You know, my freezer is pretty stocked, but you know, a few things that I like to have around. And we're also going to stop by Target for some, you know, regular, you know, groceries and stuff like that.
And Pokemon cards.
And Pokemon cards. I have to bribe her to come with me, okay? But you know, if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do. So Pokemon cards it is. Alright, let's get going. It's our first stop, Trader Joe's. Let's see what they have in store for us today. People like these, which is just grilled chicken, and they're pretty plain. But in my opinion, they're really dry, so I try to avoid them. You know, once in a while I get them, but kind of dry for me. This is one of my favorites, carne asada. It has really good ingredients in this marinade. No added bunch of sugars or anything like that. So I'm actually gonna get 2 of that one. Yeah, and it's $8.99 a pound. That one. And they do have a lot of fun little marinades and stuff like that. Haven't tried a lot of them. Like this one actually looks pretty good, but it has a lot of sugar in it, so that's a no for me. I'd rather get plain meat and put in my own, you know, marinade. So here it does have some maltodextrin in it, but you know, that's just part of the juice powder, so that is not bad. Maybe canola oil, you know, not a horrible, you know, oil police, but I try to avoid the worst of the oils and try to stick with olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil. But this one actually looks pretty good, so I might try this. I do like to get a whole chicken for my Instant Pot, but it's hard to find free-range chicken that's organic, which I try to get if I can. But they're kind of expensive and hard to find sometimes in my regular grocery store. But here they have some, and they actually have a pretty nice size. This one is not so big, just over 2.5 pounds. So I'm gonna grab this one. For you guys who likes almond milks and things like that, Trader Joe's have this almond cashew macadamia nut beverage. I've used it in some cooking, but I don't really drink any types of milk, dairy or not, so don't buy it very often. But I have cooked with it before and made some fat bombs and stuff like that, and it was pretty decent. I can recommend it. There's a lot of options for butter. As many other ketovers, I love my Kerrygold. I like my salt in the butter because I'm always dehydrated, so I always like my extra salt. But there's a lot of cool options you can look at if you don't care about the grass-fed part of it. Try it if you go to Trader Joe's. It's this cheese, the creamy Toscano, which is soaked in red wine. It's delicious. And I also recommend, they have one with cinnamon, but it's harder to find. This is the black pepper one. I haven't really tried that one, so I'm just gonna go with this one today. I always pick up these roasted wasabi flavored seaweed snacks. I don't eat them myself, but my husband loves these. They're pretty much 0 net carbs, very healthy, and you know, they're 99 cents a pack, and it makes a great little snack. Trader Joe's are really good with is nuts. They have great options, really good prices, and pretty much anything you can imagine. and they have Marcona almonds. I haven't tried these ones, truffle flavored, but I had the rosemary before and they're really good. I don't see those today, but if you ever see Marcona almonds, they're really good. I've seen Marcona almonds from California, which is technically not Marcona almonds because that's a region of Spain, I believe. And there's lots of different options of macadamia, one of the best nuts you can get. And you can see the prices are really good. Keto has some really nice, unique flavorings. One of the really good ones is this one. It's good for a lot of things. I heard some people say they like the seasoning salt. I haven't tried that myself. But one of the very famous one is this one, everything but the bagel. You can use it for a lot of things. It's great on eggs or fathead bagels, whatever. And this is one of my favorites, and I need one right now actually. It's great with pork, chicken, and vegetables. Really good. I recommend that. Try that one. Keto is coconut oil, and I also like this coconut oil spray, and I'm gonna get an extra one. It's $2.99. Can't really go wrong with that. It's great to have for pans. And I also always keep one avocado oil spray on hand when you don't want to have the flavor of coconut in whatever you're cooking. And they do have clarified butter, or ghee. I tried it before. I didn't like theirs. It tasted odd to me, so I actually threw it out. I might have just gotten a bad batch, which I'm sure will happen. They have buffalo ghee here, seasoned. I haven't tried that, but it has turmeric and stuff in it. It's really inexpensive, cool thing to try. There's an olive oil spray and avocado oil, which at $8.99 is actually a pretty good price. Living in Florida and it's being over 90 degrees. If I know I'm gonna go to several stops, or if the store is, like in this case, a little far from home, I always bring a cooler with some ice in it, and that way I don't have to worry about my frozen items or whatever meat and stuff I'm buying. It's gonna go bad. So I can highly recommend you do that. Our second stop, Whole Foods. I love this store. It's not too far away from house, you know, where we live, but it's so darn expensive. So, you know, I only shop here once in a while, unfortunately, because I really do love it. I would love to be able to shop here every week, but you know, got a budget, so that doesn't work out so good. Section, and there's a lot of things that are wonderful, but I just can't have because, of course, they're not keto friendly. We tend to eat mostly a few staples like broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, love Brussels sprouts, you know, things like that. And once in a while I have a salad and make it a little bit more like a salad is meal type of thing, you know, with a nice fatty dressing on it. But today we don't really need a lot of vegetables. Chocolate on keto, but one that's a favorite of many is Lily's chocolate, and they're having it for sale today, 2 for $6. And what's good about Lily's is that they don't use real sugar in it, so you can actually get something like creamy milk chocolate, and it's sweetened with things that makes it still a decent option on keto. This particular one, half a bar, 22 grams of carbs, 12 grams of that is fiber, but then you have erythritol, which is the fake sugar, sugar alcohol, so not too bad. I don't really eat that. You should get 85% dark chocolate, or sometimes even 100% dark chocolate. A little too strong for me, but my husband liked that a lot. And there's a lot of different options you can choose from here. They have a good selection of dark, healthier varieties. I really like gum, and I try to avoid regular gum, not so much because of aspartame in it, but because it has maltitol. I'm not sure if you're aware, but maltitol is a sugar alcohol that pretty much acts like sugar in the body. So if you eat something with maltitol, it will raise your blood sugar. And they have lots of yummy options here with mostly it would be something like this that doesn't have you know, aspartame in it, and it's xylitol, which is great for your teeth. And if you look at the ingredients this here, it doesn't have any maltitol or anything like that. So I like to get these. You gotta be very careful with xylitol products, because xylitol is extremely toxic and even deadly for dogs. So if you keep them in your house, be very careful keep them out of reach for your dog. I keep them usually in my purse and don't leave them around the house because God forbid a dog would get into it. There's all kinds of different flavors. I like peppermint just for freshening up a little bit. This brand is actually really good. I had it in, I think it was like a licorice flavor. They don't have it here, but it was so good. Anyone from Sweden would know what I'm talking about. Especially the like salted licorice, which is yummy. But yeah, I'm gonna just get this one. This is something that is so good. Smart Sweets. But this has 2 grams of sugar per bag, which sounds great. And if you're looking at the ingredients, is here. It has probiotic, soluble fiber, yada yada yada. So it sounds pretty good. But it kicked me out of ketosis for sure when I tried these. And they were good, and I don't regret eating them. Well, I kind of do now. But then I saw several people on Instagram doing tests with these on their blood sugar. And yeah, there was my answer. It definitely affects your blood sugar really badly. So if you want to stay in ketosis, do not eat Smart Sweets, even though they're really yummy, okay? A lot of people like to have protein bars on low carb, and there's some good options for that. One, and probably the most popular one, is the Quest bar. And I particularly didn't like these type of bars at all. It's just not my thing. Like you can see, 4 grams of net carbs, and these ingredients do not affect blood sugar, so you can definitely have these. I don't like to replace real food with things like this, but if you're traveling or something like that, these can be a really good option to have. This one actually was the tastiest one of the ones I tried, even though I actually only tried 2 flavors. I just don't like that kind of things. Another thing that a lot of people like are Epic bars. These are a great option for people who like beef jerky and things like that. Some of them, like this particular one, happen to have dried cherries in it, which makes the sugar level a little bit higher. But there is definitely great options. Like this is probably the best option here. It's made with bacon. It has 5 grams of sugar. Wow, that's really high. Alright, I don't particularly like these types of things, even the ones with the lower carbs. Some people love them. Could be a good option. Just make sure you check the macros on the back. Oh yeah, I haven't seen these here before. These are the new collagen bars from Primal Kitchen. And they're on sale really high up on the shelf there. And these are actually a really good option too. Chocolate hazelnut. 15 grams of protein. I see a lot of these things have so much protein in them. But this guy, he is known for being associated with products that does not have a lot of bad things in it. Pumpkin seeds, hazelnuts, yeah, this actually sounds pretty good. And then if you're gonna get into the, let's see if I can open this here. These are the options that they had here. And 13 grams of carbs. And here in the United States, you have to remove the fiber yourself. In Europe, they do it for you. So that's not too bad. Sugar is 2 grams. So that's a little high for me. Well, I don't like to get bars anyway, but could be a good option, especially if traveling. So something to look into maybe. I love iced tea, particularly unsweet green iced tea. It's my favorite drink. If I could have only one drink the rest of my life except water, that would be it. It is unfortunately very pricey, so I do get cases once in a while from Amazon, and that's it. This is my favorite brand. It's really good. This one is a little extra caffeine in it, so I'll try not to drink that one, just the regular one. They're very strong. They're much more concentrated than regular iced tea. This particular brand is also very good, and it happens to be on sale, so I think we're going to grab some of that. I like the regular one. The jasmine one is really good. And I also like to get the unsweetened green tea from Whole Foods' own brand. It's also very good. The only thing I don't like about these purchase ones, and of course I could make my own much cheaper, but you know, I'm lazy. I like the convenience. They put citric acid in it, and sometimes some brands they put too much in it. It makes it very sour. I don't like that, but this one is pretty decent. I like it. So, yours is pork rinds. Not everyone likes pork rinds, but I gotta say that the variety of really good quality and taste-wise pork rinds in the United States has gone up over the last 5 years or so, and you can find so many nice options. This particular one, Epic, which you saw earlier with the bars, is really good quality. The sea salt and pepper is good, and I do like them. A lot of people love the pork cracklings. This particular one has a little bit maple in them, so they're not, carb free. It's 1 gram carbs per serving because it has a little bit of sugar in the seasoning. But they're kind of weird too because they're sweet, but they're not. It's very fatty because they have that little skin on it. So it's not like normal pork rinds. They're really cool. Absolute favorite is this one. This one is so good. It has cheese in it. I don't know what they did, but these are amazing. I highly recommend these. It's 98 degrees outside, which is 37 degrees Celsius for you who use that system. It is very cloudy, so that's why it's not so hot, I'm gonna say, because it's actually usually a lot worse. We just arrived at Super Target, our third and last stop of today, so let's get going on our groceries. This is going to be the stop where we get more everyday kind of stuff. Whole Foods and Trader Joe's is great for items that are hard to find in other stores, so you can only get online. But Super Target, I don't really do grocery shopping there so much, but it happened to be almost right next to Whole Foods, so it's a good option today for the items that we need to get. And we need to get a couple of things that are non-grocery items too, so it makes a good spot for today. Otherwise, we do our shopping at Publix supermarket, which is a great local supermarket store. Came back with our grocery haul, and start out with the dry goods first. We had in Trader Joe's, we got the seaweed snacks that I was telling you about. I don't particularly like them myself, but got some pecans, and this is really good at Trader Joe's, the coconut oil spray, and also the coconut oil, which is really good. And we got this. And at Whole Foods, we got the unsweet iced tea, and then these are on sale. I got the jasmine kind and the regular kind, and we got the pork rinds and the cracklings there too. I never tried these, but these are good because unlike the one from the other company, these have no carbs because there's no added sugars in them. And then these I have had before, the jalapeno cheddar, are so good. They're my favorite pork rinds. I don't know what it is, but something with that cheddar makes them almost like creamy, but very, very good. I highly recommend it. And at Target, we got some sparkling water. Never tried this one. Ginger peach sounded interesting, so try that. My husband likes these. I do too, but I try not to eat them because, eat too many. Oh yeah, and got the gum too at Whole Foods. And then I got some tomatoes. I don't eat too many of these, but I like these Wild Wonders. There's a nice little medley. And some onions. And that's what we got for the dry goods. My cooler, which is a really good idea on a hot day like this. We have some eggs, free-range eggs. These happen to be on sale, so we went with those. Some cheddar, cheese for snacking, mostly for my husband. He likes his cheese. Some bacon. We always have bacon in the freezer, but it's good to have one unfrosted. This is from Trader Joe's. The herb and garlic seasoned beef sirloin steak with chimichurri sauce, and chimichurri sauce is on the side, so you can add that if you want to or not. At Target, I got some top sirloin steak. These are cheap cuts of meat, are good for marinating, and basic meat. Same thing with some to cut pork chops, nice big thick ones. Some people don't like this, but I love cube steak. And I actually bread these with almond flour and make a schnitzel out of them. It's really good. And it's cheap, so it's $5.99 for 3 big pieces. Not bad. Every time I go to Target since they launched, They're sold out on the Quest pizza. And I've been wanting to try it, and they did have a couple of the cheese ones. Walter, get out of my bags. What are you doing, Walter? There's nothing in there for you. Anyway, one whole pizza is actually 12 net carbs, so this is 2 servings. Most people probably eat the whole thing, but I think we're gonna do this as a snack. Again, this is the Trader Joe creamy Toscano cheese. This has been soaked in Syrah wine, red wine. It's really good. If you can get the cinnamon one, I recommend that too. They have a couple. They have a chipotle one, and they have a black cracked pepper one, which I haven't tried yet. I got a regular organic free-range Young's chicken, which is good for the Instant Pot. I got a couple of just tenderloins with nothing on them, and I thought the price is pretty good. $4.31 for that one, which is just almost a pound. And this one was about the same. Pretty good price, I think. And I love the carne asada from Trader Joe's. This is so good. And you never know what you're gonna get in a pack. Well, do you like carne asada too? You can't have any. Sometimes it's 2 big pieces, sometimes several small, but they barbecue really well. So I got a couple, you know. And then I get the fixings for making some guacamole. What? Walter, you can go eat your dry food over there. This is not for puppies. No, even though it smells good. Yep, so that's what we got at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, and Target today.